it's me, Goku! Is that all you got, faggot?
Hello everyone, welcome back to Super Guy Boy Show, and today we are back with a Dragon Ball topical video on the character of Burter. Now, Burter comes from the Ginyu Force section of the Namek saga, probably my favorite section out of the saga in general. Not only was I a fan of the lighthearted comedy twist with these characters feeling less like antagonists and more like a parody of some sorts, while also at the same time being menacing, but also how very creative their fights were in general, from Goldo's time freeze ability to Ginyu's ability to change between bodies, and also Jason Burter's tag team fight against Goku. It brings something different to the table, and not only that, Burter being the fastest in the universe.
Hey, watch out, bro. I don't want niggas trying to play disrespect with you. You see this nigga right here, bro? He woo, nigga. You woo, right?
Yeah, we gotta talk about Burter. The first thing we're gonna have to go over is speed. Obviously, because of Ginyu's claim of him being the fastest in the universe, we have to look at whether or not this is even true in the slightest degree. Now, the only scene showcasing him being the fastest is him catching the Dragon Ball mid-air, completely shocking everyone. In the manga, it's portrayed in a very quick session with him grabbing it and coming back within just 2 panels. However, in the anime, it's a bit more different because in there you can see that a little bit more time is passing in between him grabbing the ball and him coming back with the Ginyu Force. However, I will say that the manga is a lot more canon than the anime, so I would say that that's just the anime's part, adding a bit more of some filler into it. And I gotta say, while this is a scene that is meant to show how fast he is, this isn't really that much of a feat compared to other things we've seen, even in OG Dragon Ball, if we really are being honest. Mind you, in the second arc of Dragon Ball, during the fight between Krillin and Jackie Chun, there's a moment where they both do a lot of shit between just 1 second, and it happens so fast that they spend 5 pages having to explain what happened during that split second, because they are fighting so fast that no one is able to keep up with them. And that is in just the second arc of the series. Compared to this and Burter, it makes Burter's speed seem nowhere near as that impressive. And that's not even mentioning the scene in the 22nd tournament arc where Goku is able to get the sunglasses from Roshi before Tien is able to do his solar flare attack, and then Goku at the same time gives Tien a gut punch. Goku is able to do all of this, yet we are told that this guy is supposedly the fastest in the universe because he grabs a fucking thing mid-air? I'm sorry, but this makes Burter's claim of being the fastest in the universe seem very tame in comparison to these moments. And that's not even going into the topic of how his supposed claim of being the fastest in the universe makes no sense in the world of Dragon Ball. The same series in which if someone's power is greater than someone else, then that automatically makes them faster. Now let me use some examples. In the beginning of the Saiyan saga, Raditz is at that point the strongest character that Goku had ever faced up to that point. He was way stronger than both Goku and Piccolo, which meant that he was way faster. We are shown this because when Piccolo tries to shoot a special beam cannon, Raditz was able to dodge it. And in Piccolo's reaction, he said that Raditz was faster than the speed of light.
He's faster than the speed of light!
Which goes to show that if someone's power is way greater than yours, then their speed is way greater than yours. Which, if we look at Burter, that makes no sense why he would claim to be the fastest in the universe, since he works with literally the strongest guy in the fucking universe, being Frieza. Frieza, in his first form, is leagues faster than Burter, which makes no sense why he would even hold that title, which makes no sense why Ginyu would even claim that, since he's way stronger than Burter, which means he's way faster. This whole idea of Burter being the fastest in the universe cannot make any sense in the world of Dragon Ball. It cannot. It would not make any sense. So what is it? Is Burter just a fucking liar? Is he a fraud? Was Ginyu just hyping him in the mirror just to make it sound like he's way cooler than the rest of the other Ginyu Force? Because even his own scene showcasing his supposed fastest in the universe speed pales in comparison to the rest of the moments we've seen beforehand in the series. So what is it? Can Burter even fucking fight? Now, to lock in for a second, I thought about that claim of him being the fastest universe and how it wouldn't make sense with the established lore we already know of Dragon Ball. It just can't. We know that if someone's power level is way higher than someone else, then that gives them way faster feats than that other person with a lesser power level. We know that. So obviously Ginyu's title wouldn't make sense in the grander scheme of all things. However, I did think of a way that this could maybe make a little bit more sense. It is a bit of a headcanon. In that same scene of Burter showing off his speed, it's also the same scene where Goldo shows off his time freeze ability. I do believe that in some way Akira was trying to imply that Burter perhaps has an ability where he can, for a short moment, be a little bit more faster than the average person he's fighting or used to fighting. An example of something like this, think of the Kaioken that Goku uses during his fight with Vegeta. The Kaioken allows Goku to increase his power for a short moment, and I do think it would make more sense if we look at Burter's for that instant. I mean, it was just a short little moment. I don't think it would be way too out of the possibility that perhaps Burter may have an ability that could enhance his speed for a little second or two. But you're probably wondering if that is possible, if he does have an ability that does enhance his speed for just a brief moment, how come he still lost to Goku? How come that does not come back during his fight with Goku? I do think we gotta remember how abilities exactly work in the world of Dragon Ball. Abilities in Dragon Ball works a lot more differently than other series. For example, something like JoJo's, where the whole point of a fight between one person's ability and the other is to outsmart them or find a creative way of using their abilities. In Dragon Ball, it's a lot more different. We are shown that if someone's power level is way higher than someone else, then that person with the lesser power level, whatever their ability may be, doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things. An example of this is Chaozu. In the Saiyan Saga, Chaozu tries to use his psychic abilities on Nappa, but is unable to do anything because Nappa is just that stronger than Chaozu that his psychic abilities are just useless for that instant. Even looking at the fight with Goldo, Krillin and Gohan were still able to catch up with him despite him being able to freeze time. Just because Gohan and Krillin were a little bit more stronger than the usual, they were still able to completely shock him even while time was freezing. And Vegeta was still able to speed blitz him despite the fact he had that ability. So I think if we apply this to someone like Burter, and if we were to use the headcanon that perhaps Burter may have an ability to enhance his speed for a brief moment, if he was fighting against someone like Goku who had been training for the 5 days he was traveling to Namek, of course Goku would still be able to catch up with Burter and surpass him. Again, this is the same series which is all about surpassing someone else who is way stronger than you. And Burter just so happened to be one of those victims of Goku that Goku just fucking bodied like it was nothing. Alright, that'll do it for today's video. I know it was a lot more different than my usual content, which is focused on JoJo's. I decided since I've, just gotten into Dragon Ball, I wanted to do this video on this topic of Burter and all that. I will surely do a lot more content in the future. Some will be Dragon Ball, some will be JoJo's. We'll just have to see in the near future. So yeah, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like. If you had fun watching the video, tell me about it. And yeah, if you have a wonderful day, have a wonderful, rest of your night, and yeah, see ya.
Yes, yes. Let us see who will win. You don't scare me. Yeah.